Hi there, Sanjay Gangal from EDA Cafe. I'm here with Hui Su Lee, HST segment lead at Keysight EDA. Hello, Hui Su.
Hello, Sanjay. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us, Hui Su. I understand Keysight EDA recently announced um, uh, expanded support for chiplet interconnect standards in Chiplet PHY Designer 2025. Tell us more about that.
Thank you. Thank you for the question. And Chiplet PHY Designer came out a little bit over 1 year ago. We started the first version with supporting UCIe 1.0. But as you know, standard has grown with the new generation of the standard. So with a latest release of ADS, which is ADS 2025 Update 1, we started to support UCIe 2.0, which is the latest version. What are the main thing with the UCIe 2.0? There is a UCIe 3D, which is one of the package type that is also part of a Chiplet PHY Designer. Top of it, we started to support the QDR, which is quarter data rates. One of the important clocking technology coming from the UCIe standard that is also part of the Chiplet PHY Designer 2025 Update 1. And one of the another important thing I like to emphasize is when people are looking into the any of standard that support the chiplet in the market, people will find the other two standard. One is UCIe, and the other is a bunch of wire, which is called BoW. And this is coming from the OCP, but that is another important standard that serves a chiplet market at this point. And I'm very proud that we are supporting the both standard UCIe 2.0 along with the other bunch of wire with the latest release of Chiplet PHY Designer, which is ADS 2025 Update 1.
Okay. And the announcement also mentions the tailoring the tool for AI and data center applications. Can you
Mhm.
elaborate on how Chiplet PHY Designer specifically addresses the needs of these demanding sectors?
Yeah, that's another great question. Although we support the AI, market quite a bit, and last year, few years ago, we also came out with the new solution, which is called worst case bit pattern generator, which is using the Bayesian optimization behind the scene. So we have many of the new capabilities using the AI ML technologies. However, Shopify Designer is supporting the AI market by offering best a system solution for AI ML. So the other way I like to say AI market is pretty hot. That means data center or AI data center are very very hot market. A lot of people are getting into it, but this is where chiplet technologies becomes a one of the key technologies as an enabler, and this is where we like to contribute to the market by serving this market by offering the chiplet PHY Designer.
Okay. And the pre-silicon validation is emphasized as a key feature also. How does
Uh-huh.
tool simulation capability reduce risks of silicon respins, and what role does it play in accelerating time to market?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. So in a typical PCB applications, as you can imagine, or you have, quite a bit of experience, everything is visible, right? And if you are using any of scope, and you can actually pick up the other probe coming from the scope and locate the probe tip to anywhere in the PCB, then you will be able to measure and validate the design. However, thinking about the triplets, especially, stack die configurations, multi-die configurations, the bump pitch within the triplet becomes very, very small, probably going into the other 20 micron the level. That makes it all the other, measurements very, very difficult and extremely, extremely hard. And top of it, cost-wise, it's not that cheap to make those measurements. So the bigger question comes in, if making those measurements is very, very difficult. How are you going to validate your silicon before you tape out, right? This is where Chiplet PHY Designer comes in, and allow user to be able to validate their chiplet designs, including making sure their design comply with the other compliance, such as VTF, voltage transfer function, which is one of the other compliance measure defined by the UCIe standard. You will be able to make sure your design comply with those standards within the Chiplet PHY Designer. Therefore, this is a unique solution that allow user to do a pre-silicon level validations. Not only just claiming it, but we really had one of the great success story working very closely with Alpha Wave Semiconductor. And a year and a half ago, when we started to work we were close to the release of the Chiplet PHY Designer, Alpha Wave adapted and use the Chiplet PHY Designer to complete their advanced package based on the UCIe standard, and taped it out. That's where Alpha Wave used the Chiplet PHY Designer as a pre-silicon validation tool before they go for the next stage of the design, which is the tape out.
Okay, and now the new QDR clocking scheme and systematic crosstalk analysis are also highlighted as unique features. So how do these announcements improve the precision and reliability of chiplet interconnect designs?
Yeah. Generally speaking, UCIe standard comes with the clocking of DDR, double data rate, very similar to the memory interfaces. That means, rising edge or falling edge, you start to clock your system, right? But in order to, move up to the higher ends and make clocking more efficient, UCIe standard body recommend to use the QDR. Basically, using the plus and minus signal of clock and use the two phases, you can actually double the clock without increasing the clock frequency to double. So make the system design much more efficient. Although clock systems it becomes a little bit more complicated, but it's not using the doubled clock frequency. This was the one of the very important requirements came from the UCIe standard. And with the first release of Chiplet PHY Designer, we didn't support it, but we did update 1, which was the version released around the end of November. We are very happy that we started to support the QDR. So not only using QDR, user will be able to switch it to DDR if it is necessary. So switching the clocking scheme is going to be very, very easy with just one mouse click. Top of it, single-ended system are more sensitive to a crosstalk, which is very important aspects of the design. People needed to be put a lot of attention. However, traditional way of the dealing with the crosstalk was very challenging sort of the workflow. The reason why I'm saying that it was challenging is because you really need to think about the other two things. One is when you are dealing with a crosstalk, right? How many data lines you need to deal with? It's not a one or two. Especially talk about the single-ended bus, and maybe 64. If you're thinking about the 2 cycles, read and write, it could be doubled. So that means you must do a lot of simulations to make sure you are taking into account all the other different data bus. That is very, very daunting tasks. So that people were simplifying it. That was one of the challenge. And second, when you were doing this crosstalk analysis, most of people tend to put the 50 ohm. However, the termination impedance for the driver or receiver may not be exactly at 50 ohm. So how we bring real life termination impedance into the system, this is what we created new solution, which is the crosstalk analyzer within Chiplet PHY Designer and Memory Designer that allow user to do a more of the other systematic and much more accurate way of the other crosstalk analysis. So within this toolkit, people can choose the aggressor modes that can be switched from the step signal to continuous, or even going with a single bit, so that the system characteristic against the crosstalk will be analyzed a really, really accurate way.
Okay, and Keysight is going to be at DesignCon also this week. What are the other things you're showing at DesignCon?
Yeah, that's a great one. As I talked about, yeah, DesignCon, yeah, which is one of the great events, and I'm very, very happy. I'll be there too. And not only showing the Chiplet PHY Designer that supports the important aspects of a supporting different industry standard, including the UCIe and bunch of wire, and then also showing up crosstalk analyze or analysis capability. But the other thing, what we are really focused on is a standard A-driven workflow within Keysight EDA solutions. So some people, who have been using the ADS or EDA tools, they use those tools as a more of the generic, right? But at the end of the day, those designs must be validated against the standard, including the PCIe and Ethernet, USB, and chiplet or memory. This is where in a few years back we started to standard-driven a workflow within ADS. The first product came out was Memory Designer. Second product lately came out was the Chiplet PHY Designer, but also last year we released the solution which is called a System Designer for PCIe as part of the one other a standard-driven workflow solution. So what it does, it actually is spanned through the entire workflow. As long as you are using the product, you don't need any other things. It's because you will be able to generate the AMI models that represent your transmitter and receiver, and the top of it, you will be able to bring the channel data to construct the system. And then once it is done, you will be able to run the compliance tests against a PCI standard, for example. We have done that, that includes the, model generation, entire system simulation, and compliance tests within this standard driven workflow. This is where we support the, all different type of interfaces. For example, like memory, we support the, DDR4, 5, LPDDR4, and 5, and all of them comes with a, compliance solution embedded into the workflow. For System Designer for PCIe, we support PCIe Gen 4 and Gen 5 and Gen 6. This is standard driven workflow and will be demonstrated and shown, in a upcoming DesignCon. So I'm looking forward people coming into our booth and being able to actually spend some time to looking into how this workflow are totally integrated to make their job much more easier and much more productive.
Okay, and what is the best way for our audience to find out more about Keysight EDA and all the products that we talked about on the internet?
Yeah, we have a lot of data ways to provide data in additional informations. But generally speaking, start with the Keysight homepage, which is www.keysight.com. But if you are particularly interested in your Chiplet PHY Designer, and there is another web page, you can directly go in. I hope that Sanjay, you're gonna put together those links. And if you are interested in getting the demo, right, you can come to the booth. But at the same time, we posted a lot of demo videos to YouTube, and so I really ask you to come and check out those links.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Hui Su, for taking time to record this interview. Have a great day and stay safe.
All right, see you soon. Thank you, Sanjay.
Okay.
Okay,
This is
bye-bye.
Sanjay Gangal from EDA Cafe.